Reddit, when has something you've always done just in case paid off? When I enter a dark room, I yell, "Get out of here, monsters!" It seems to work. I've never seen a monster appear. I constantly pat my pockets to make sure I have my keys, wallet, etc. Several times it saved me from locking myself out of my apartment. I don't believe other drivers turn signals until the driver slows to make their turn. 3 or 4 times in 40 years this has saved me from pulling out in front of someone who would have T-boned me. Yup, I've seen too many drivers either change their minds last minute or put their signals on way too soon and go past 3 streets to get to their turn. Or they're driving with it on and don't even know it. Took pictures of a job I did. The client was an a-hole, and I was pretty sure he would try to fuck me over. Later in the day, I got a call from my office asking about the job. Sure enough, the client called my boss and claimed that I did not do the job and had photo evidence. He was refusing to pay the bill. I responded that the client can go fuck himself, then emailed my boss several of the before and after pictures I had discreetly taken, one in particular that had the client in shot checking on me. "Great job there," was my boss's response. I've had this happen before too. They tried to claim installed the lawn wrong. I have progress pictures and completion pictures as well. I now use their completion photos on my postcards. My wife always overpacks for long road trips. One time we were stuck in city traffic somewhere, and everyone was hungry. Surprise PB&JS for all. Several years ago my 2008 Ford Ranger died and wouldn't start again. After I got it towed to the dealership, they confirmed that my engine was completely shot. "Don't I have warranty?" I asked desperately. "Let's see. Oh, it looks like your warranty expired 8 days ago," the lady at the desk told me. "Oh, for foo. Wait, it looks like you did pay for the extended powertrain warranty when you bought it. I guess it is totally covered." Oh, thank Christ. My wife started planning a very expensive, very exotic trip a year in advance. We planned every other weekend, made payments, set up things for my business, and got almost all of it paid off ahead of time. The day before we were supposed to leave, she went to the hospital for an emergency appendectomy. Trip cancelled hours before we were supposed to be on the airplane. Tears were shed. She went through all the stages of mourning. A few months prior, she asked me if we should get trip insurance. I was pretty meh, but she's the cautious type. In the end, we got virtually all our money back, saved the cost of the insurance, and we will be taking our trip in 2 months as though nothing had happened. Always crane my head around and check my blind spots before changing lanes. I've been surprised to see a car hiding there many a time. Aren't drivers supposed to do this? Yet shockingly, people don't do the rational and safe thing because it requires a half-calorie of muscle exertion and a bare moment of attentiveness to turn their freaking heads and look. Looking both ways down a one-way street. Always have a pocket knife handy, if not on your person at least in your car. Be the gift-opening hero of Christmas and birthdays. This post ended much nicer than I expected it to. Also for the murders. Having extra tampons or pads even when not on my period, underprepared coworkers and friends really appreciate it. I am a male and I started doing this after one of my female employees needed one. She was a host and couldn't leave her workstation, so I had to ask around. It was pretty embarrassing for me asking all the girls if they had a feminine hygiene product, so I just went and bought the one she wanted. When I was a teenager, I used to keep a jar of Grey Poupon in my car, just in case someone pulled up next to me and asked for it. You know, like in the commercial. One day, someone did, and I blew their goddamn mind. When you travel, bring 1 roll of toilet paper in the suitcase, just in case. Last holiday was at an apartment rented through Airbnb and we did not have a car. We were dropped off by a taxi late afternoon, and there was no grocery stores anywhere nearby. I always keep an emergency $20 bill in my trunk. It has saved me numerous times when I go out for food and forget my wallet at home. I used to do the same. I once had left my wallet home and needed to fill the gas. It was great that I had money in the glove department. Having a tow strap in my car. $40 investment has probably saved me 10x that in towing fees. When I slide off the road in the winter, I hook my car up and then stand on the side of the road with the other end in my hand. Turns out people with big trucks really like to show off how powerful their trucks are. I always leave early to get to work, because you never know about traffic. Almost all of the time it just means that I get to work early. However, a few times traffic or road construction, etc., has slowed me down, but in all the years I've ever worked there I've never been late. Cutting it close, yes, but never have I been late. Just checked. I was late every single day for 14 weeks in a row least year. I guess my company doesn't really care if I'm on time, as long as I work the needed time. Looking up times, calling locations to double-check closing times. I've saved so many hours of sitting in traffic because of this, and 95% of the time it's as simple as searching Google. Google Maps now has a feature that will tell you if the place you are going will be closed when you get there. Very helpful. I always bring a bottle of water. I have panic disorder and like to have water on me to make me feel better in case I have a dry mouth, coughing fit, or some other symptom of a panic attack, and at the time was really afraid of getting stuck in a bad elevator in my building. I got stuck for 1 hour that day with my 2-month-old son. I brought my water just in case, thankfully, and my phone. Firefighters had to rescue me, as the elevator company took too long to arrive. Anytime I get out of my car, no matter how sure I am that I have my keys, I still stand there with the door open for at least 5 seconds. This weird habit started after being a young college student with no money and locking my keys in the car multiple times, one time even with the car running. Haven't done it since. I will sit there, feel my keys even, and still give it a few seconds before shutting the door. I always lock my car with the fob while I'm walking away from my car. Thanks to that technology, haven't locked my keys in my car in well over a decade. I always push on a door after locking it. Lucky me, a few weeks ago, I did this and the door swung wide open. Door frame gave away where the bolt goes. So I went back inside, locked the deadbolt, went out the other door, and then made a request to have it fixed. Had I not been testing, my door would have been left unlocked. And thanks to our uneven ground, the door swings open by itself. So it would have made its way open and stayed open while I was out for 12 hours. Before I start traveling on my motorcycle, I make sure my pockets are zipped and top box shut 7 times. And then extra at the stoplight along straight. 2 times I've noticed I haven't done my helmet strap through vigorous checking. Haven't crashed, but otherwise I shudder to think what could have happened to me. Helmet strap check is super important. I've started going and heard it smacking the helmet, and had to pull over many times. I always hide $5, $10, or $20 bills in my room for later. Then forget about it. That's the point though, for me at least. I later find money randomly, and it's the best feeling. I never lock my car doors, and when both my wife's and my car got broken into, they smashed out her car window to steal her change, and they simply opened my door to steal my change. Unless the thief in question is a big picture kind of guy and the thing of value is the car itself. This happened to my friend. Fortunately for him, he's a broke ass that doesn't own anything worth stealing, car included, and was able to recover the vehicle a day later, after it was used in a crime, drug sting. Unfortunately for the thief, my friend is a broke ass that doesn't own anything worth stealing. The car broke down while they were trying to run from police. Good luck in a place with high homelessness. Bums will piss, shit, inject, puke on your seat. Maybe even in that order. I wouldn't recommend this. We used to have a problem with a homeless guy who would go down our street and test every car door and steal whatever he could find inside the ones left unlocked. My dad left his car unlocked 2 times, and it was broken into both times. The guy left you alone if your door was locked, probably because he saw it as a much more dangerous crime to attempt. Before leaving the church where I'm a musician, I've always made it a practice to go back to the console one last time to be sure that I've turned the organ blower off. More than once it paid off, as I found it still going after services, lessons, or practice sessions. If the organ blower had gone all night, it would have overheated, not to mention a significant waste of energy. I actually have gone home after a rehearsal and changed into PJs, only to fear that I'd left the blower on. Naturally, I returned to church and found I hadn't, but I couldn't help myself. Pick up pennies on the street, in case they're lucky. I also carry hand sanitizer, in case they're bubonic. I always lock my bike when going places with friends. We bike to places to eat. They used to laugh at me until one of theirs got stolen. Just curious, what kind of people don't lock their bikes? Small town. I always make sure the front and back doors are locked before I go to sleep. Even if I'm already lying down and realize I haven't checked them yet, I'll make myself get up to do so. I moved to the city to live with my so, and more than once drunk people have wandered into my house by accident in the middle of the night, while I was sleeping on the couch, directly by the front door. It really ruined my sense of safety in my house. I had really bad nightmares for a long time, and I always double-check all of the locks now. More than once I have locked the door and heard somebody trying it a bit later. On the plus side, I know exactly how I will react in the event of a break-in now. Apparently my body shuts down, and I just stand and stare while my soul yells. Fight, flight, or freeze apparently. Used to do that. Now have an alarm with remote locks I can check and lock-unlock from my phone. I keep a slip leash in the trunk of my car. I can use it to tie the trunk shut if I'm transporting something large, but I have twice used it to get control of a loose dog, either were mine. Do you have a similar story? Leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.